Hi everybody, and welcome back to our PHP MySQL login tutorial. If you remember last time, we had created a user called Mimi and we logged him in and got everything set up. So let's just go log in with Mimi here again. And he logs in fine. You see he's logged in. It takes us to the page I called the page. And when we talked a bit about this last time, this is just your standard. You include the functions. In the session, we get the user ID saved in the session, the username, and the user level. If there isn't a session, we're going to boot them out of the logged in area. Welcome to the landing page. But this is what I want to draw your attention to here. Notice that here it says if user level greater than 5, we're going to show a hyperlink that goes to the admin page. And right here you see there is no hyperlink or link to the main page. That's because we just signed up with Mimi and he only has a user level of 1, so he won't have access to the admin level. So to continue on with this tutorial, I'm just going to log out of Mimi here. And I'm going to log into another user called Ricksand. Oops, we're going to call him with a capital. Ricksand. Tab Ricksand. Okay, he's got a higher user level, so you will be able to see when he logs in that the link to go to the admin page shows up. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on that link, and that's going to bring us to the admin page. I'm just going to click on the admin page here. Okay. First thing I want to talk about, I guess I have to talk about with the admin page, is file structure. So you notice right here in my includes, I have the // then include login functions. And normally I would have just there'd be no // like I have down here. And the reason why I have this // is I'm going to open up my files here, click on my winamp folder, my www, which is my root folder, and then in here I got all my projects, and click on the tutorial login tot. Now this is my root folder for the login tot. And anything to do with the admin is in another folder called admin. So the admin page is here in the admin folder. So the actual file path is different. So what this means is from the root folder, go to the root folder and look for login functions. .php. And you see login functions.php is in the root folder. Okay. Whereas down here it says include once, look for admin.nav. Now it's going to look in the current directory it is in, rather than starting from the root directory. So what this tells you, if you have to go down from the root directory, that's where you find it. If the admin.nav is in the same directory, you don't need to back this down to the root directory. But because we put the admin in a separate folder, we have to tell it where to find these pages, and where it has to go to find these pages, it has to look in the root directory and look for index. That's why the // is present there and everywhere else, because it's giving it directions from the root folder where to find it. So it's just saying that index.php is in the root folder and landing.php is in the root folder, and that admin.nav, which it's looking for, is in the current folder we are in, which is the admin folder. Let me go back here and show you this one more time so you don't get confused. In my C drive, scroll down here to my WAMP server folder, my www folder, my login tutorial folder, which is a root folder here, and you can see all the pages we were previously using are in the root folder. Now if I want to go up to the admin folder, which we are currently in now, so in order to get from the admin folder to the root folder, I got to tell it look in the root folder for that first. Okay, and you'll see here it says look in the root folder, then in the styles folder to find the CSS style. Okay, pretty simple. We started a session like we always do. If the session's unavailable, it's going to kick them back out to the index. And here, again, if his user level is greater than 5, that's okay. If not, we're going to kick them back to the landing page. Our standard hypertext markup language right here. Here we've got an admin nav box, which is just another div I created. In the CSS here, admin box right here, and the admin nav box, just to split them up for stylistic purposes. Again, they're positioned absolute. The width is how wide it is, the height is how high it is. The top is where it's going to start. It's going to start at 50 pixels, and it's going to start 5 pixels from here. Okay, so let's go back to the admin. Alright, and just want to touch one more thing. This right here, I want this to be in all the pages that I typed in the make section. I want it to have this little navigation folder here. And rather than typing out on every single page, what I decided to do is make a separate page just for that little navigation part and call it admin nav right here. And you can see that it has all this standard nav, the display the person's username, a link to go back to index, to log out. Let's go to the landing page. A link to show promote user if his user level is greater than 5, which it is. A link to show banned list if it's greater than 6. And a link to show banned user if it's greater than 7, and this user is greater than 7, so it shows up. Now I want that to appear on every page, so what I did is I put in my own separate file called admin nav and just included it. So now every time I want to use that, I just put include rather than typing all this out again on every single page. Let me show you what that means when we go to promote user. So I click over here to promote user, and the nav box is there, and that just changed. So promote user. See here, I just rather than typing in all that text that's in the nav admin, I just put an include nav admin and it shows up. It's got a couple of advantages doing it that way. One, there's one place in code where you go to change this and changes it on all the pages. Whereas before, if I wanted to change, say, this U into a small u, you'd have to go back to every single page and change it, which is kind of a hassle. Or this way, if you have one place to change everything, it makes it much easier, less problems, less tracking down and changing stuff. So it's a good thing to do, just to keep things neat. Okay, now let's take a look at the promote user page. Okay, now we're over here in the promote user page. We're going to promote as Mimi. I'm just going to type in Mimi here. And let me go promote level 8. Okay. All this here you should be very, very familiar with. We do it pretty much on every page in the token. The HTML, you should be familiar with that as well. We do that pretty much on every page. I talked about those includes. The only thing different up here is basically this quick little simple form. Form is going to post to do promote. We have a simple text input and a select input, which is basically a drop down list. And that's how you do the drop down list there. The input type is select, so it's select, name of the variable, which is going to be level 2, and value of option 1, and value for it to show, which is 1. And you keep repeating that from 1 to 9. You see 1 to 9 here. Okay. We want 8, and we're going to submit it to do promote. So let's go over and take a look at do promote. Okay. Okay, we're over here in do promote. As usual, this first block of PHP code we deal with all the time, you should be very familiar with. Same with this block of HTML. I'm not going to address that too much. I got the users variable out of the post. Did a real escape string like you always do. I got the level 2 variable. I want to talk to you about this preg replace function here. Basically what this function does is it's going to replace every character that is not either a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If it's not any one of the characters from 0 to 9, it's going to replace it with what's in those brackets, which is nothing. in the variable level 2. Basically what that's going to do, it's going to take out anything else that the user puts in except just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I know we have a drop down list here, but you can't trust that the user is going to pick one of these numbers. You could still put in an input that's not on this drop down list. Anything that comes from the user, you have to sanitize no matter what. Never trust what the user inputs. Just always sanitize the information. You're going to be using this function a lot later on. It's a really handy function. So again, what it does is anything that is not these characters, it replaces with what's in this brackets, which is nothing, in the variable level 2, which we have level 2 here. Okay. This checks if level 2 is less than 1. Bump it up to 1, because the minimum level access level we have is 1. Check the token. We've done that several times in the past. Very simple. If the user entered nothing, tell them he entered nothing and provide him a link to go back and fix it, just like this. I entered nothing in the user. Oops, you entered nothing. Fix that. Okay. Here we're going to check if level 2 is greater than 1 and less than 10. It's okay. If not, you must enter a number between 1 and 10. Okay, and then if everything's all okay, we're going to check the users table for the name Mimi. I enter here. If we find it, great. If not, failure, please try again, and then go back here. That's what this else is for. Okay, so go back here. We did find the user. There was a result. Okay, then we're going to take the ID, the user level. I just renamed it band ID. That's the ID person we want to ban. The current user level of the person we want to ban, which is Mimi. I put user level current. Now I did here max promotion, and what I did was I took the user level of the person I'm logged in as, which is Rickson, -1. So you can never promote someone to the same level as you. You can only promote someone to one level less than what you are. Just a security feature there. Okay, and now we're going to check that I'm not trying to promote him above the max level I can promote to. So if it's above the max level I can promote to, so you can only promote to one level less than what you are. If that's okay, then I'm going to go down, I'm going to update the users table where the username Mimi is equal to Mimi. The variable users, there we go, is equal to Mimi. The user wants to change, okay. If successful, you promoted Mimi to whatever level you pick, in this case to 8. If it wasn't successful, failure, please try again. Again, pretty straightforward form, so let's just go and submit that. You have promoted Mimi to level 8. Now let's take a quick look at our database here. Database. Login taught. Users. And you can see here that Mimi now has user level 8. So we're going to log out and go back. And I'm going to log out. That'll be it for this. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you a little bit about the band system. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you all later in the next tutorial. Bye. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to click on the like button, join my channel, or leave a comment. Thanks for watching.